A stolen cousin. You already know what time it is. In a minute. Horror stories. In a minute. Horror stories. Okay, but right for the Switch, y'all. For the Switch, we are with our homies, Broccoli Animations, right? Give them their, give them their subscribe. Why? Because I seen three disturbing Twitter horror stories, and I was like, I use Twitter. I don't know if y'all use Twitter, but right? But it's something to watch, right? Even if you don't, it's something to watch. So we are going to get into it, like into the nitty gritty. So one second, let me share this stream to Twitter. Share to Twitter as I talk about them, y'all. Right? Go on and grab your blunts, right? Grab your bottles of water, grab your blankets, and grab your bag of chips so you can have something to snack on while we're watching this little creepy stuff. Let's hope it's good, y'all. Let's hope it's good. I'll ask you something to comment throughout the video. You can like it right now, or you can like it when you get to a part that you really like. And you should already be subscribed because we're family. Duh. Story one.
My name is Christy, and I'm 29 years old.
Okay,
Recently in
Christy.
my life, I experienced a very unusual and unpredictable series of events. It all started on the internet. Like half of mankind, I was on social media too. I
Mm,
had a Twitter account, which obviously I posted pictures, news, etc. You know how it works. Nothing too special, really. Even when I allowed some healthy vanity to take over me, the most edgy individual photographs I published were of me wearing a bikini on the beach. And still, only a few of those. Although one day, something nasty happened.
like what?
Apparently, my Twitter account got hacked, and
Mm,
all sorts of posts posing as me were produced. Terrible and insulting messages towards friends and family, and the worst, compromising pictures of me and of my ex-boyfriend, Nathan. This was even more surprising
did they hack
and
your phone or
traumatizing
did they hack
because
your?
I didn't even know those pictures existed. I
Oh,
guess that's why ex-boyfriends become ex-boyfriends. Obviously,
that's
Nathan clicked those
crazy.
images without my approval. Hell, I don't even know when he could have clicked those. It wasn't hard for me to suspect Nathan, especially because that was precisely his work field, a computer engineer. I mean, when we were together, I would regularly spy on him just to make sure he wasn't cheating on me. But with his program and software knowledge, he must have hidden those photos. I had enough,
That's
so I
crazy.
reported the case to the police. As for my Twitter account, I couldn't even control it. But fortunately, the police authorities were helpful and able to contact Twitter people who terminated my account.
Good shit.
This was a small consolation. I told everyone that it wasn't me controlling my Twitter account,
And they were
and
still
those
mad.
terrible messages were written by somebody else, possibly an angry and bitter ex-boyfriend. But the pictures, those I could never erase from the memories of the relatives and friends. Friends are easier to deal with and more understanding in those situations, but my mom, my dad, and brothers, it pretty much stained the relationship,
That's
at least for a
crazy.
while. The police was now after Nathan, and within a week, I was contacted by authorities through the telephone.
What did they
They
say?
had news about Nathan. He was dead.
Mm.
Apparently, Nathan had died 8 months before my Twitter account was hacked. There was a
Oh,
non-disfigured corpse, a funeral, and a tombstone. This to say that he wasn't just presumed as being dead. In fact, Nathan killed himself with some kind of pharmaceutical cocktail.
mm.
This was extremely disturbing to learn. On the other hand, the real hacker was out there. And this was also disturbing because I didn't know who could access such pictures or who would want to ruin my life. I'm not the kind of person who has enemies, not even petty rivalries. All right, no more social media for me. But of course, I still had my email, which I needed for work. And one day,
Is it about to
I
hack your
received
email?
an email from the grave. I got a message from Nathan's email. Yes,
No way.
my dead ex-boyfriend. It
What was
simply
it?
said, I am dead, but I cannot die. I can think even without a head.
What?
I can grant you eternal life, a new world on this side. I still love you, Christy. I'm sorry for the pictures. That was too much. But where I exist, such things don't matter. Yours, Nathan.
Not
The
mine.
mail was very enigmatic. At first, I didn't believe it was Nathan. Paranormal was never my thing. I still try to keep an open mind, though. Ghosts haunting houses and haunting living people? Okay, I guess I can respect that concept, but writing emails and hacking accounts on social media?
From the
I don't
dead?
know. I thought it had to be someone alive.
Mm.
On the other hand, the verses. Nathan sometimes wrote me cheesy short little verses, and they were as bad as this one particular email. So much thinking about the whole situation made my head spin, but also made me smarter, because I decided to visit Nathan's sister, Elena. She was also a computer freak, like him, and they were very close.
Good shit.
Perhaps she was posing as Nathan, trying to blame me for her brother's suicide.
Yeah,
It could be a possibility.
that sounds
I
smart.
had to confront her in person. These computer nerds aren't so tough when they aren't behind a screen, and they're terrible liars when they're speaking in front of you. It wasn't
Girl.
hard to track down Elena. Not surprisingly, she lived alone in a very nice house. These tech people always make a good living, I thought to myself. It was 10 p.m. when I knocked on Elena's door. I couldn't wait to see the look on her face by seeing me right there in front of her. But I was in for another surprise. Oh, Christy, it's you. I'm so glad you came. I wanted to see you before, but I didn't have the courage to do so. You know me. I'm shy, but please come in, Elena said. Her face looked tired and stressed. Hello, Elena. Thank you, I said, as I followed her to the living room. We sat down at a table where an enormous computer was on. The rest of the house was a complete mess. I saw pictures of Elena and of Nathan when they were teenagers and children.
Oh yeah, she did it.
I'm sorry for your loss. I heard Nathan had killed himself, I said sincerely. Your words are kind, and yes, Nathan killed himself. But he's still around, so to speak. You mean his spirit? I asked. No, Christy. I know what happened to your Twitter account.
Wow.
It was Nathan. Calm down. Let me explain.
Get
It's
out of
all
there.
science, really.
Don't let her explain.
You can believe what you want.
How the hell is it
But
science,
I'm risking
girl?
my own life telling you this. Nathan was brilliant, and he dedicated his whole life to computers, as you know. I know he never told you how great he actually was, because he wanted to protect
boy
himself.
in the computer.
Some time ago, an obscure and rich
Don't hack my
company
computer,
gave
Ethan.
Nathan tons of money for him to develop a project. I'll skip the technical details, but to make it simple, this revolutionary project, whose final results were successful thanks to Nathan, allowed the human mind, the thoughts, whatever you want to call it, to be uploaded into the digital world, online, on the internet. The eternal mind, the eternal life. It's complete freedom. And the virtual and digital world is endless, as you know. Elena's expectation was beyond anything of my imagination. I never would have guessed, and somehow I believed her. She was being sincere. As I said, computer geeks cannot lie properly. And I could tell she was relieved by having the opportunity to open up to me. So Nathan, he uploaded his mind, and then he killed himself? I asked. Yes, but not for selfish reasons. He didn't trust the company, or anyone for that matter. Nathan thought, let me correct myself. He thinks that it's too much power for such evil institutions, and power corrupts. He knew they would never leave him alone. If he simply said, thanks for the money and the opportunity, but goodbye. He wasn't very happy, though. Especially after the two of you broke up.
That
So
ain't got nothing to do with her.
he simply
Don't
decided
put that
to
on
move
her.
on. Literally. By the way, he shared with me the knowledge of the whole upload process. He still loves you, Christy. If you ever want to be with him and be immortal in the endless universe,
No, girl.
I can help you,
Shut up.
Elena said. Wow, thank you, but no.
No, thank you.
I should be going. I wish you the best, Elena. Shortly after, I got up and left Elena's house.
She gonna be
As
dead.
for Nathan, he didn't bother me anymore. I guess having access to such freedom gave him a lot more things to do and to think about. And I hope it stays that way, but now I always feel watched whenever I'm using computers or similar devices.
You should
Your flesh
always.
looks soft and tasty. Well,
What?
if you don't subscribe to this channel now, I'm coming for you.
Broccoli, bro, relax. That's not a good thing.
It was windy outside the night it happened. Ryan, my boyfriend, was out for yet another party, and I was once again left alone at home watching the rain slash against the windows.
You got no TV?
Unlike Ryan, I was more of an introvert and didn't enjoy much socializing, hence most of the times I preferred to stay home. I know I shouldn't have, but I was on my phone for pretty much the entire night. I'd been afraid for the past couple of days that Ryan was cheating on me with this girl he'd met at work, but I refused to believe it, considering we'd been dating for almost 5 years now. Surely he wouldn't choose to cheat, knowing our history, as violent as it may have been. For the 100th time, I decided to
Violent.
check my phone. The bright flash of a notification beamed outwards from it, and I was now staring at a message I had just received from Ryan's friend, Mike. The
What's he
text
saying?
audibly pierced into me as my lip trembled in a furious temper. Hi, Amy. Hope you're having a lovely night, but I wanted to let you know that I think Ryan's cheating. Yeah, so I've been seeing him walk around with this brunette all night, hand around her waist and everything. And hey, if you come down, please don't tell him I told you. I'm still his friend, but it just didn't seem fair to you that you didn't know. See you
Should've
soon, Amy.
told him.
My eyelids fluttered in disbelief.
Now, you as Mike, do you feel as so that's the best thing? He didn't say that he's seen her mad times. He said that he sees them together right now. You know, if that's your friend, do you go approach him and be like, Mike, what the fuck are you, what are you doing before you message Amy, or do you just immediately message Amy? I feel like if you're friends with him, you go and confront him, tell him to tell her, or else you're gonna tell her, and go about it that way. He just snitching right off the back, but hopefully he's doing it for good reasons. Hopefully he's not cheating. Hopefully it's like his sister or something.
How could he? I screamed aloud. Am I not enough for him? How long has this been going on? How dare he keep this from me? I had reached a peak in my animosity, and I was ready to rip his throat out then and there, if only the option was available to me. Instead, I dashed out of the house, slamming the door shut behind me, and began sprinting down the stairwell and out of the apartment block. Ryan had told me that the party was being held at a friend's place a couple of blocks down the road. It wasn't a very accurate location, but it was enough to point me in the right direction at the very least. Once I had reached the end of my block, it had suddenly occurred to me that my socks were drenched in the rainwater, and the gravel below had
no
torn
shoes.
up the soles. The pain was unbearable, but I prioritized my emotions first. And then a car pulled up beside me. "Hey, are you Ryan's girlfriend?" The voice came from the driver.
What the fuck?
"Not for long. Why?" I said. He unlocked the car door. "Ah, perfect. I was going to drop a load of food off at the party he's at now. The guy called Mike put in the instructions for me to pick up his friend Ryan's girlfriend on the way there if I saw her."
What
I was
the fuck?
momentarily alarmed that he had found me so easily, but the story matched up with what Mike had told me, so I carefully
Nah,
clambered
girl.
inside the
Mike
back.
is trying to kidnap you, bitch.
It was filled with tons of Deliveroo bags, and the smell was utterly fantastical. I had forgotten to eat dinner that night, so I was hoping to maybe have some once we got there. That would give me all the energy I needed to go and confront that piece of shit trotting around with Bimbo. "Oh my god, are you in socks?" He must have noticed them when I got in. "Yeah, I just
Sir,
found out
can you
Ryan's been
drive?"
cheating. I completely forgot to put shoes on when I rushed out." He bore an expression of artificial shock. "Oh god, I'm so sorry. You still want to go there?" I stared at him intently and growled,
Like,
"Yes."
What are you talking about? Do I still want
His
to go there?
skin tightened, and he looked back towards the road ahead. "You know, Ryan and I have been together for 5 years now. And then he goes and throws it all away for some random girl? It's ridiculous!"
You're not making any sense.
The driver nodded, but said nothing. He merely acknowledged it. I sat back, feeling irritated that he couldn't see how revolting Ryan was for doing such a thing, until I realized we had arrived at the place. "We're here. You get out. I've got to take care of some more deliveries first." Considering he had said he was delivering here, it made no sense why he would suddenly go and deliver somewhere else first. But that didn't matter now. I was here, and Ryan would pay for his sin.
Girl.
"She's here," the driver announced loudly as I stepped out of the car. I turned back as if to smack him for alerting people of my presence. I wanted
Exactly.
to catch Ryan
It's supposed to
red-handed.
be fucking
The
discreet.
door of the house was open. I assumed that Mike must have left it open for me. As I tiptoed inside the house, I saw Mike sitting calmly on the sofa. "Oh, great, here you are. Where's Ryan?" I asked him. Mike smiled and pointed towards the other direction, and in walked Ryan with the brunette. "Amy, what are you doing here?" He, too, had a smile on his face. This left me confused as well as disgusted. How could I love him, this man who had no shame even after being caught? "I came to talk to you. Mike told me that you're cheating on me with this bimbo." Ryan's face turned red with anger. "That's a lie!" he shouted. "Is it? Because it sure looks like you're having a good time with her,"
Don't slap
I
her.
said.
Oh.
"Hey, I'm Angelica. Yes, the bimbo. That's what Amy called me. And no, that's not the reason I slapped the shit out of her."
Okay, POV. Oh, wow. I've never had this before. I like this. I think we might like it here. Can you
You see, we're a
explain
team.
things?
Me, Mike, and Ryan. We like you. Yes, the hopeless romantic inside you. We spot it and bring it out. Don't take us wrong, we treat you like prince and princess. I mean, I can speak for myself. If you date me, I will do whatever you tell me to.
What are you talking about?
You heard that right. As for Mike and Ryan, they'll take you to the best of the places and shower you with gifts. You like to spoil them, Mike, don't you? But then, once we're done with you, we won't dump you the traditional way. You know, life is short, and even breakups must be exciting. Something
You're
that
gonna
gives
kill
adrenaline rush. We'll torture you,
Oh,
cut
y'all
you,
killers.
tear you apart, slowly.
Oh, y'all
Very,
killers, bitch.
Very slowly.
Oh, I knew Mike was the killer.
And make
I
sure
just
you're
didn't know
awake
that
to
Ryan
witness
was in
all
on it.
this. After all, you are the sole audience. Once we're done, we move. There's so much love to give and so little time.
Y'all, this is crazy. She's
But you
staring
don't
right
worry.
at us.
Love is soon gonna knock on your door.
Don't break eye contact. If you break eye contact, she's gonna think we're weak. No way, Broccoli! That's not how you end a story, bro. That's not how you end a story. You don't just give us her point of view and that's it. We needed like, a fade away of her screams or something. We needed something to let us know more. You just basically told us what you were gonna do. We don't know you about it. That's crazy. That's not a way to end the story. That okay. Come on. Mm-mm.
Last month, I helped my grandma Pat set up her Twitter account. It took a lot of explaining because she didn't really have any experience with the social media. But after an hour, I figured that she understood how it worked. Mostly, she wanted to follow her favorite soap opera actors, which I thought was cute. Of course, I
You got your
explained about
grandmother
spammers and stuff.
on Twitter?
I knew that people of her generation could get
I
easily
would
duped
never.
by scams, but I thought that she was too smart to get tricked. Turned out, I was wrong. A
Girl.
week went by, and I visited Grandma Pat again. I asked her how Twitter was going. She was very happy. She'd been tweeting about her cats and sharing photos of her latest knitting project. It all seemed normal. Then, she mentioned that she'd made a new Twitter friend, and my heart sank. Somehow, I knew that she'd fallen for some kind of scam.
Exactly.
I asked if she had given anyone her personal information, and she said no. She explained that she started following an account about wellness and positivity, and that account had replied to her comments and retweeted some of her knitting photos. I instantly relaxed. Maybe my grandma could handle Twitter after all.
Ask more questions.
I asked her to show me this account, and she pulled out her phone. It was called the Church of the Setting Sun.
Stay
Its
stealing.
profile was a mountain range at sunset, and it had about 40,000 followers.
Stay still.
Great, I said. Looks legit.
Girl,
Her
they
eyes got
buying
wide.
followers.
It's more than legit, Maggie. The setting sun has changed my life. I was a little put off by her enthusiasm, but I didn't think anything of it. Over the next few weeks, Grandma Pat contacted me less and less. She didn't answer my calls and often replied to my texts days after I'd sent them. I was starting to get worried. I went to her house unannounced, and even though I could hear that she was home, she didn't answer the door. Somehow, I knew that this had something to do with the Church of the Setting Sun.
It did.
I
girl. You
pictured the
gotta
look
get
in her
her on-
eyes when she first told me about
on
the group.
Twitter. Now you got her in a
I'd never
damn
seen her
coat.
so passionate about anything in her life, even her cats. I logged onto my Twitter for the first time in a while and looked up the Church of the Setting Sun. Their tweets were mostly inspirational quotes, often with pictures of sunsets. It all seemed so bland. But as I scrolled through, I noticed a trend. They retweeted hundreds of accounts, all from little old ladies like my grandma. It seemed like they were targeting elderly women for something, but I didn't know what.
They got old
I went to
women
Grandma
quotes.
Pat's account and saw that she'd stopped posting about her knitting completely. Now she was tweeting exclusively about sunsets and finding inner peace. Strangest of all, she changed the profile picture that I'd taken for her and replaced it with a blank screen and the date November 15. I knew that wasn't her birthday, nor was it an important date to anyone in our family. I started to worry that this strange group was planning something on that date. In my mind, I pictured some kind of cult sacrifice, like Jonestown or something. I was about to call my mom and ask for her advice when a fresh tweet popped up from Grandma Pat. Can't wait to burn away all the things that have held me back.
Burn away.
That message was all I needed. I drove straight to my grandma's house and pounded on the door until she let me in. She looked different, dressed in yellowish orange with thick makeup and a new wig. Honestly,
Oh.
she looked at least 15 years younger. She might have even gotten Botox to smooth out her skin.
Okay, Granny.
Maggie? She said, "Is something wrong?" "Grandma?" I asked, but I didn't know what to say after that. I was so confused that I didn't know how to explain why I was there and why I was so scared for her. She waited for me to answer until I finally said, "Can you tell me more about the Church of the Setting Sun?" Her eyes instantly lit up. She took me inside and gestured for me to sit on her sofa. I could see that her house had changed completely. All the family photos had been taken off the walls, replaced by framed pictures of sunsets. A lot of her decorations had been cleared out, and the shelves all seemed so bare. She explained about her new group, about how it taught her to live in the moment. She said that following the church's teachings had made her a stronger, healthier woman. She said that I would be so much happier if I joined them. I didn't want to lose her trust, so I pretended to be interested. She made me swear to follow them on Twitter, and I agreed. I asked her about the importance of November 15th, and she said that it was the church's big event. They were planning to gather somewhere and greet the sunset as one. Everything she said made it seem like a real doomsday cult. My grandmother had gotten roped into something terrible, and it was all my fault for setting up her Twitter account.
Girl, I would never.
I tried to get more information from her, asking her lots of questions about exactly what they were going to do on November 15th. She gave extremely generic answers, and she wouldn't even tell me the location of the event. She said that if I joined, all the answers would be given to me. I told her that I loved her and left the house. I couldn't call the police because it didn't seem like any crime had been committed. Besides, it might all be nothing. But I had to do something, so I called my mom and told her everything. She didn't speak for a while, but then she finally said, "I know, sweetie. I've discovered the setting sun too." "What?"
Bitch.
I shouted into the phone. "You're in that cult?" "It's not a cult," she said. "It's a community for wellness and positivity. And yes, I'm a member. I found them on Twitter." I figured that my grandma might get duped by a group like that, but I had no idea that my mother would fall for it. I tried to ask her the same questions I asked Grandma Pat, but she just gave me the same generic answers, as if the group had told them exactly what to say.
Yeah, they did.
I had no other choice but to go straight to the police. I told the lady at the front
Careful,
desk
'cause
that
she
I
got a
needed
little
to
bit of
report a
blonde in
possible
her hair
cult.
too. She might be able
She
to
ushered me into the sheriff's office and told me to tell him all the information I had. So I did. As I talked, though, I noticed that his expression was cold and annoyed. Worse, I noticed a huge framed sunset sitting on the wall behind him. When I was finished, he told me that he's well aware of the Church of the Setting Sun, and there was
He's in it
absolutely
too.
nothing wrong with them. In fact, he was offended by my blatant intolerance to this new religion. He ordered me to get out of his office. All this happened a few weeks ago. Since then, Mom and Grandma have stopped answering my calls completely. Several of my friends have too, and wherever I go, I start to notice more pictures of sunsets decorating the walls of office buildings and restaurants. I went to Twitter to follow the church's accounts. I figured that would be the best way to get more information, but someone flagged my account for harassment and I was blocked. I assumed that the sheriff told the church about everything I told him, or maybe my mom did. Either way, I have no idea what's going on. All I can do is wait for November 15th to come. But whatever happens, I know it won't be good.
At all. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. I can say my favorite was the second one. Yeah, I can say my favorite was the second one because what? That twist, y'all, crazy. Oh boy's not cheating. They really about to kill your ass. Like, what are you even really talking about? But until next time, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which one was your favorite. And bye.